Hello, hello. Welcome back to Heart Breathings. You guys know how much I love a good Erin Condren LifePlanner, and I love it when we get to see some new layouts and some new changes and the new designs. So welcome to the 2025-26 Erin Condren LifePlanner launch. Let's talk all about the brand new dashboard layout, how I'm going to use it, what I think of the Hexagon design, and what changes are being made this year. I cannot wait to dive in. So let's get started. Hello, everybody. I have been seeing some gorgeous sneak peeks, and it is finally my day to get to share with you this gorgeous life planner. I am just beyond words. Like, I have loved the Etta V designs the last couple of years, but I was feeling like we're getting something new this year. And I heard that it was going to be Hexagon, and there was a Hexagon design from Erin Condren several years ago that was not my favorite. And I was a little bit nervous, but let me tell you, the design team has delivered with this beautiful design. It is everything those of us that love color are looking for. Like, look at this page. I feel like I can always tell how much I'm going to love a design by this main page that we get to see here in the beginning. So just as a reminder, the Etta V design looked like this, had lots of bold color and movement. And of course, these are the Erin Condren colors. We see these colors in the colorful every year, but look how different it can look depending on the design. This is so bold and geometric, and just bold is the word I just keep coming back to because it has a lot of joy to it and a lot of power to it, and I really, really love it. Also, we have the multicolor coil is back. So last year they swapped it out for the sunset coil. Let me know in the comments if you preferred the sunset coil or you're just a stan of the basic color of coils, because when they first announced the multicolor coil a couple of years ago, I wasn't even sure if I would like it, but I have loved this particular multicolor. I did get some of the sunset color coils and it looks so good with the right cover, but this orangey yellow is not my typical like favorite color scheme. So I am very excited to see this come back. In terms of which coils you'll be able to get in 25-26, it's going to be the basic platinum. And then for an upgrade, you can get gold, rose gold, or this multicolor. And all of the life planners, again, will come with this stencil ruler, which I really, really love. I have used the heck out of mine in every planner that I've gotten the past couple of years. So I love that. And let's talk about this beautiful design. So 2025-26, you have 3 designs to choose from. Hexagon is the colorful. It's the colors you know and love from Erin Condren, but in this bold new Hexagon design. And there's some good changes to this that I cannot wait to share with you. Then you've got the bouquet design, which is pastel florals. It's probably, in my opinion, the most beautiful floral that I've seen from Erin Condren. Then we also have the Canva design, which is the minimal design, which basically has almost no color anywhere except for gray tabs and a gray like divider sheet. So I don't have those to share with you. However, I love getting a launch day order. So this year they were not able to send us a bunch of accessories and things. So sadly, I don't have a huge box of all the different brand new Hexagon accessories to share with you yet. However, this entire collection launches April 21st for EC Insiders. And so I'm going to be placing a launch day order, and I will share all of that goodie stuff with you as soon as it comes in. So just to update you on that, April 21st is the EC Insider launch. That's for everyone who's in the like rewards program for Erin Condren. It is free to join. Highly recommend you join. You get to sign in on launch day. You get to get special rewards when you buy. You get bonus rewards and coupons that accrue over time. It's just, if you order from Erin Condren ever, it's worth going ahead and joining. So I will leave a link for you down below. And then on the 22nd, it's open to everybody. So I'll be placing a launch day order. Let me know if you will be too, but let's see if the dashboard layout is going to be on your order form. So brand new layout this year, which means we are getting rid of a layout from last year, but I'll address that in just a second. First things first, one of the things that I have complained about that I did not love in years previous is that they have been putting this barcode on the front of these pages, which just, to me, it doesn't kill anything by any means. It's just a simple thing, but it just takes away from the beauty of opening up your planner and seeing this big barcode. And often I will cover them with stickers, but look, da, 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 no barcode. And there's no barcode on the back either. So I think maybe they either got rid of their need for it, or I don't know. I have no official word on it, but I'm very excited to see that. So let's keep going. So we have just a plain vellum sheet here in the beginning that really highlights the beauty of the color underneath. And then we've got the dashboard layout. So here's your first page. And then, like I said, here is the beautiful 2-page spread. That is always my most favorite spread of any Erin Condren planner. It's just so beautiful. And I feel like this particular colorful with the multicolor coil, just chef's kiss, and it brings me joy. It's so sunny and happy. I just love it. So we've got celebrate every facet of the journey. Then we move over to the 2025-26 2-page planner. And then here's our little progress each day adds up to big results. So this is a page that's been in the planner for as long as I've been using it. And you can use it for the 12 boxes to put in 12 goals for the year or any kind of progress that you can track throughout the year. This is a great spread that is always in there. Same beautiful quality of paper that we've always had. So there's no cutbacks on that at all. This is also something a little bit new. So every year when we order our planners in like April, there's, we have to wait till July to use the planner. And so one of the things that they're adding in this year is all new planners will have the May and June monthly page. So you can at least go ahead and pre-plan a little bit in your brand new planner with the monthly pages. So how beautiful is that? So you've got your May and you have your June calendar. Then we go into our official tabbed divider. So beautiful, pretty much taking the basic color. So you've got blue, and then this is all orange or yellow, all purple, etc., all the different shades. Very bold, very beautiful, super, super love it. So as we turn into the July planner, just a couple of things to note from previous years. One of the things that I love about this, for those of us that love to use sticker kits sometimes for our months, over the past couple of years, Erin Condren has been bringing that design into the coil. So if you wanted to put stickers, you would still see a peekaboo of that design, and it might not match the color scheme you were going for the month. However, this year, that's not true. We just have some of the hexagon design over here in the corner. So if you want to, you could cover that up with stickers, and then you have just a very minimal space here at the coil. So you could almost have like your bold, beautiful, but then pretty minimal with a pop of color of your monthly design, which I absolutely love. I think it's beautiful. And it's the more minimal but colorful. But let me know if you're a colorful person, if you're like, oh, I wish there was more color, because I'm curious to see if anybody feels that way. So then we have basically a similar design to last year, except we've got a longer to-do list here. So let me know if you felt this way. But since they added this dashboard sort of planner layout here, since they added this little extra piece, I don't know if I've been calling this a dashboard, but that's going to get confusing because now it's a dashboard layout. But I've always like, how do I fill in these boxes? I don't know. I could put which videos I'm going to put up this month, any kind of goals. And I'm always kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with each of these boxes. But I like this layout better because we still have this basic set of boxes. But instead of this just ambiguous one here, we have a to-do list, which I really, really appreciate because it allows you to come in and say, okay, like here's maybe my 4 priorities for the month. Here's maybe a little bit of journaling. Here's a definite to-do list. And then down here, you could maybe write some gratitude list or something like that. But it gives you a little bit more structure than what they had previously, plus a blank note page. And now we get into the beauty of the dashboard layout. If you haven't seen this yet, let me know first impressions. I would love to hear in the comments what you think of this. I think this is very cool. So this is replacing the compact vertical. So last year we had the same options of planners, but one of the layouts that you got to choose from was the compact vertical. And I'm going to pull up a sample of that right here. So this was the compact vertical that you could choose last year. And it basically was similar to the horizontal, but instead of having the long lines of the horizontal that take the whole page, you just had pieces of it. So it was more like it's more like a vertical version of the lines. And I honestly thought I was going to love this, and I bought it. I tried to use it. I put it inside all my planners, and then I never really found my flow with it. But I'm sure that if you did find your flow with it, you're probably disappointed to hear that that layout is no longer going to be an option. So you've got those four main layouts for your life planner. You've got the hourly, the vertical, which is like the three boxes, the horizontal, which is lines all the way across, and now the dashboard, which I'm going to take you through in a minute. Then, of course, you have the daily duo as well. If you don't want a weekly planner, you want a daily planner. Those are all the options for the 7x9. Unfortunately, the A5 designs are getting cut way back. So if you were using an A5 design, you'll only be able to get the A5 daily duo, and they won't have the A5 horizontal or the compact vertical anymore in any format. So they won't be in the inserts for the planner or for the coiled planners. But sometimes I think we're going to see a lot of cuts from different planner companies if things weren't really working out or weren't being used. It doesn't really affect me, but I am sorry for those of you that it is going to affect. But let's take a look at this gorgeous new layout, which I think a lot of people are really going to like. I feel like this is one of the better layouts that I've ever seen for social media tracking, and for if you're really trying to keep an eye on like weekly posts and that sort of thing. I think this is going to be a really good layout. So let's take a look. We'll take a look one piece at a time. But let me tell you before this, I nearly squeed from excitement because this weekend preview, this like monthly preview in every single week that I'm always whiting out, is gone. Oh my gosh, how long have we been asking to get rid of that on the weekly layouts? And I'm sure that there's going to be some people, because you just can't please everybody, that are sad to see that gone, but I am not one of them. I do not like having a weekly layout that has a month in preview, because we have monthly layouts. I can just turn to the month. I don't need to see it every single week. And I love that it's gone personally, but let me know how you feel in the comments, because I know we're all going to be a little bit different. And every time there's changes, there's some people that are happy and some people that are upset. But okay, we're going to take this one piece of the layout at a time. So the dashboard layout has this one page that has the entire week on it. So this is very similar to what you have with the compact vertical, but even more compact, because all 8 boxes are put on one page. So if you were using the compact vertical, you can probably find a way to use it here, except you're going to get less space on this exact page. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, 5 to 6 lines that you can use here. And the way that I'm definitely going to be using this is to basically put in here any of my posting schedule for social media and any of my meetings that I have to do. So that's the first thing. Then on this second page, we have priorities. So here you can see just this one segment that says priorities. So maybe you could put, if you're a writer, you put your writing priority. If you are a teacher, this is your main priority for the week. It could be priorities, could be the meetings or timed things that you have to do each week. Then you've got this nice 6-box habit tracker. So this is a great way to track your habits. In the past, there hasn't really been an easy way to habit track on the weekly layout. So you could have added some stickers here at the bottom, but I do like having it built into the planner. Then we've got to-do boxes. And I am a big to-do list person. I love to-do lists. And so the fact that we now have a to-do list basically behind the monthly plan, as well as on each of these weekly spreads with the dashboard layout, I love it. I'm a big fan. There's a nice circle there. You can either circle it in or check it off. It's great. And then you've got a big notes section. I do have kind of I don't know what that is. Just like a little spot on mine, but there's a big notes section here. And I personally give me as much notes as possible, because I personally write a lot of notes. So let's say, for example, that you wanted to use this for your social media planner. You could put, okay, priorities this week is to post 3 times on Instagram or something. Then you have your to-do list about all of the different content that you want to create, all the videos or things you want to watch, a course you want to take, anything like that. You You could have your habits tracking up here, and then you've got any kind of notes about the theme of the week, what you're hoping to post, what you need to create. This is such a nice big box section here too, that you could section this off. Like if you took your ruler and you sectioned it off, and you could have 2 sections here of different kinds of notes. You could continue your to-do list down here. And then over here on the weekly section, you could track what you're actually hoping to post. So I'm going to do a little plan with me here at the end of this video to share with you just kind of how I would set it up for myself. But that continues on. And honestly, I feel like even though this is not the Canva design, we do have color on this design. This is pretty minimal and it goes all the way down to the bottom. So I just feel like this is a very clean, modern design for Erin Condren, and I really, really do like it. So once we get to the end of the week, there is a plain notes piece of paper, this very bright, sunny next tab on the list, and then we're into August. And of course, that will just continue and repeat that layout with the color scheme over and over and over again. But I want to show you all of the tabs and all of the monthlies. They're so bright and beautiful. I love it. This particular planner is 18-month with the addition of the May and June calendars as well. And now we move into 2026. Every year when I get this planner, I just am like, oh my gosh, are we halfway through the year? And then I have to like calm myself down and say, okay, no, we still have a lot of time. Ooh, February is so pretty. I love that. That's very pretty. Don't worry, we're not in 2026 yet. We still have some time left to make a lot out of 2025. But it's nice to see these sneak peeks of the planner. So there's April, and then we're back into May, which, oh my gosh, this is so pretty with the addition of the pinks. I really love it. And we've got June, and then back around to July. So there's two Julys in here. So you've got a lot of months. You've got a year plus in this planner, and that is pretty exciting. So we come around to July. So this actually isn't an 18-month planner. This one is just the 12-month planner with those additional 2 months at the front. And I think the reason why is because you've got these extra notes pages at the end. So once you hit the end of the year, so this is actually technically a 13-month planner, plus it has the May and June. Then you've got the option to add pages. And this is something I think Erin Condren's been doing for the past 2 years, maybe. I think maybe last year was the first year or the year before. They all kind of run together to me. But you can have the option to add pages to the end of your planner for an additional fee. I always opt for the notes pages, but you can also get like productivity pages, and there's a couple of other options that you can get here. Let me look it up. Okay, I wanted to look it up to be sure, but I know for sure that you can do the notes pages. I think you can get productivity pages as well, which are like this, but then they have a big to-do list on the side. But the new add-on this year is budget pages. So if you've been using a separate budgeting planner and you would prefer to use it all in one, well, you've got the option to add budgeting pages, an entire budgeting page into the back of your life planner. So that's the new version there. Then we have those pages if you want to add them. If you don't, then you don't have to buy them. Then you've got the Heritage and Awareness Observances, the Keep in Touch contact page, and the 2027 yearly calendar. So that's the same as always with this beautiful backing page. For our stickers here, we have some boxes and quarter boxes, some money ones, as well as some habit trackers, the birthday ones, as well as the typical sort of page flags here in silver. And then the pocket is just this plain, beautiful sort of slate green color. It's very nice. It matches the coil, very pretty. So that is a look at the dashboard layout from Erin Condren. Let me know, what do you think? So again, I don't have a big box of accessories to share with you, but I do have just kind of the typical thing that will come with every planner, as well as a look at the colorful dual tip markers. Now, these are not brand new. They've had these for a little bit, but let me say that these are probably some of my favorite markers from Erin Condren ever. They're so pretty. They write so well on the Erin Condren paper, but you have one that's more of like a bullet point and then one that's a fine tip over here. They're like a plastic nib, and I use the heck out of these, so highly recommend. So it looks like in your little packet, you will get a black marker, and then you will get a couple of postcards, one that just says hello, and then the other one says friendship is a gift that lasts. Those are nice. I actually prefer postcards to the little compliment cards, and then you get 20% off your next order. But let me say, this does not have two codes on the back here. So a lot of times they will give you, it'll say one for you, one for a friend, and it'll be a perforated thing. That is not the case this year. It's just a single code to use. So 20% off code this year. And like I said, I don't have the specifics to share with you in terms of all of the different sticker books and different things like that, but I will be placing an order that you guys can see once we get kind of into the launch day. But you can see that everyone who orders a life planner is going to get a life planner sampler pack. This is the same thing that we got last year, so you'll get to try the different layouts. So if you always get an hourly and you know you're going to get an hourly, go ahead and order that, and then you'll get the sampler pack where you can try out the layout for dashboard and see if you like it. Then you can use your 20% coupon and go buy a second planner if you want to. So this is their website here. I will leave a link to this down below, but basically it's got a recap of all the different planners and sizes if you want to be able to see what's going to be offered in terms of which sizes and things like that. And then they just released sneak peek number 3, which is basically a lookbook. So again, I don't have the ability to show this stuff to you ahead of time. However, there's an entire lookbook of all the different new items that are going to be coming. So there's going to be these magnetic bookmark 3-packs that are going to replace the the bookmarks that we have. I don't know if I have any of mine right now, but we have the bookmarks that are like this snap-in bookmarks. These are going to be replaced by these magnetic bookmarks that'll come in 3-packs. And then there's the B6 notebooks that are going to be coordinating. There's going to be the snap-in dashboards again, the tab dividers. There's going to be new zip folios. There's going to be new planner folios and organizer inserts. I'm really excited to see this organizer insert. I don't know if that's really coming through over the video, but there's new stickers and just all kinds of new stuff. So if you want to see some of the new designs that are accessories, then you can definitely check that out. I will link that for you down below. Or if you want to wait, I will have that for you in a couple of weeks once we get our main orders in, because I'm going to be making a big order as always to be able to share with you guys. All right, so let's take a look at how we would plan this. I'm just going to use next July because by then I'll probably have a different planner that I'm using. So we're just going to use the very last week of July that is all one color here. And I'm going to take a minute to sort of plan this out the way that I think I would try it out for a week. And that way you guys can see an example of how to use the dashboard layout. Okay, so just a real quick version of this. This is all made up, but it gives you just an idea of how to sort of play around with the layout. So I did put some washi at the bottom, which does make a little bit of a dent in the actual usable space of Sunday, but I don't use Sunday as much. Plus, they've got this extra box here, and it takes a little bit off the notes page, but I think that's fine too. So you can kind of see how you could use this multiple different ways. I've got this just putting out like, here's my social media that I'm going to post. Here's any little notes, and you can divide this up and use it as you want, or you could just use it as notes pages. So let's say you were tracking a pregnancy, or let's say you were tracking how you feel and your anxiety every day. You could use this for journaling. Let's say you were tracking gratitude. You could have just this little bit of space where you say every single day what you're grateful for, how you're feeling, how your fitness is going, like literally anything that you wanted to track. You could just leave it as a journaling page here. And then over here, you've got your priorities, your habits, and then your to-do list, which I like to see my to-do list according to different colors. So like heart breathings would be this color this week, and then purple would be Sarra Cannon. Then you've got your notes section down here where you could basically talk about how it went, or you could brainstorm what kinds of posts you're going to make for the week. But maybe that gives you a little bit of an idea of how you could use this layout for yourself. Let me know what you think. I know that when it comes to brand new layouts, sometimes it just takes a few weeks of trial and error, seeing what other people are doing, and then kind of finding your own rhythm with something. And it can feel a little bit risky to try a brand new layout as your main layout, but at the same time, it can also infuse a little bit of fun and newness into your planner life, because sometimes when we get to where we're using the same thing over and over again, it can just start to feel a little bit stale. And then you find that you aren't using your planner as much. So if you've been finding that to be true for yourself, then maybe shake it up a little bit, try a different layout, try a different way or style of planning for yourself. Use stickers when you haven't before, use all colorful pens. And by the way, you can see clearly here that there is no bleed through of these markers to the back, but there is a tiny bit of, I guess, ghosting, you could say. Like if I hold this down, I can just barely see through the other side, but that is not enough of ghosting where it would bother me. But if you can't stand any ghosting, you might not want to use these markers in your planner. But for me, it's not enough to really notice it, especially once I start writing on this page. I can barely see it. But for those of you who are interested in that, in knowing that, that is kind of the verdict there. So that is a look at the dashboard layout. What do you guys think? I love it. I love the hexagon colorful. I love the changes that they've made for this year. I'm excited to see all the planner accessories. So we'll have a follow-up once I have made my launch day order. I don't yet even know what's going to be available. So I'm going to dive into that sneak peek number 3. And I'm going to take a look and start making my order. I imagine I'm going to get whatever their folio is. I want to get that clear organizer, maybe some of the new magnetic bookmarks. So let me know if you've already made some decisions about what you're going to order. If you will be placing an order this year, of course, I would love for you to always come back to my channel and use my affiliate links if you would like to, which is free for you to use, but does give me a little bit of a bonus whenever you guys place an order. And it just shows me that you enjoy my review content and that you're here for more Erin Condren content. And of course, content has been slow this month. I have just gotten over yet another stomach bug with my daughter and myself that really knocked us both down. So hopefully I'll be giving you a rough draft challenge update coming up, as well as we've got our virtual writing retreat coming up next weekend. So I'm going to be doing a full on retreat for myself. So I'll give you some updates on that and how the month is going so far. And I will see you in that next video coming up next week. All right, you guys, I love you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.